Welcome to our video on adding a new lead and the initial lead nurture. In this video, we will cover how to add leads, taking notes and creating tasks for a lead, capturing client information on the client detailed profile, and creating tasks for home visits. In CareVision, we have something called client status, where you can see where your clients are in the life cycle. One of the first stages of the client status is leads. Leads are your prospective customers. These are prospects who have shown sales readiness either by touching base through your website or as referral or other lead sources. To get leads over the line, it's important to gather their basic information and put together a solid service agreement and quote. Before adding a new lead, you can go ahead and do a quick search. This is so we know that the client does not exist anywhere in the organization. You can type a name or contact number to verify. You can easily create a lead anywhere in CareVision by using the quick action button at the bottom right hand side of the screen. You can click on Create Client and then fill out the form. When you're doing your client management, the central location or the best place to create a client is on the clients list. You can filter to your leads by clicking on the drop down on the left side of the screen. And then to create a new client, I'll go ahead and click on the Create New Client button. It's very simple to create a new lead. You only need to add a few pieces of information, such as the first name, the last name, gender, nickname, email address, and the client status. And as you can see, the lead is the default client status selected. We also need to add a department since it's a required field by the organization. You can make this non-mandatory on the general configuration settings, but make sure to talk to your system's admin. Also, take note that the nickname autofills with the first name, but you can definitely modify it to the person's nickname. To keep track of where you got your leads, you can select a lead source and the medium. For example, this client was from the website's Contact Us form. In this case, the website is the lead source and the Contact Us form is the medium. After adding the detailed information, you can go ahead and add the conversation note. The conversation note can be a transcript of the call or conversation that you had with the client or some important dot points around the client's case. The next steps section allows you to create a task for the succeeding steps in the process. You can choose from the default list or type a custom task on the Create Your Own field. And then you can just click on the circle plus icon. You can definitely add multiple tasks on this section. When you're done filling out the details, you can click on Save or Save and View. Clicking the Save and View button will redirect you to the detailed profile. On the detailed lead profile, the first thing that you will see is the profile photo and the name of the lead. The label below the name is currently lead, but when the lead becomes an active client, it will change to the commencement date. You will also see the list of tasks you have added when creating the lead, and you can allocate the task to yourself or mark it as complete. You can also view the task details and click Edit to update. When updating a task, you can add a task type, select a category, change the name of the task, add more details around the task, and add the due date and time. You can also assign the task to another staff and mark it for internal use. You can also add attachments to the task. In this case, it could be a photo of a business card or any supporting document or information that was provided. At the bottom left side, you can mark the task as complete. When you click Save, the task will move out of the client's newsfeed, but you can definitely still find it in the client's task section. After creating a lead client, all of the initial data you have added on the form will flow through to the detailed profile. Up top, the detailed profile section contains all of the basic personal information that you need to get from the client, such as their birth date, identification numbers for NDIS, My Aged Care, and DVA. There's also a field called Contact Alerts where you can add instructions that need to be checked before contacting a client. Of course, you also need to add their addresses. This is important especially when scheduling a home visit. And down below is the About Me section, where you can put a blurb to introduce the client. We always describe this as more of a social media bio. This is not necessarily their medical history, as those are better suited as a case note or added to other parts of the profile. Always remember to click Save after making changes to the detailed profile. The likes and dislikes section is where you can note down the lead's preferences. This will help you connect with the lead in the long run and will help you engage the client based on their interests. You can easily add a like or a dislike by just typing the keyword and then pressing enter on your keyboard. As I mentioned earlier, there is a separate task section on the profile. This is where you can add more tasks and view tasks that are not on the client activity feed. So let's create a task for a home visit. For coordinators who are in a contract hour basis, you can add a task for a home visit. Since they're already paid for the whole day or the full stretch of the day and not on a per shift basis, you can definitely just add a task. On the tasks and shopping list section, I can just click on create new task. Since we're creating a task from the lead profile, we don't need to add the client. We can just go ahead and select a task type, maybe a to-do or a welfare check. Select the category, so I can just put it as maybe an admin task. Name of the task, so home visit. Add details around the home visit. This is a required field. And then you can add the due date. So I can just add in the date of the visit, the time. I can assign it to myself or someone else who's also a coordinator. Mark it for internal use only or not. Add attachments and click save. As you complete the profile, you need to take note of every information around the client, including conversation notes or any special information that you need to keep track of. That is where the Notes and Forms section comes in. The Notes and Forms section is where you can add notes around the lead or fill out forms that are particular to your intake process. The conversation note that we added earlier will be the first note that you will see on the list. To add a note, you can just click on plus note or the add note button. Select the type. You can add a title and then a narrative or description and attach files. When you're done adding everything that you need to add, you can just click on save. Creating leads is vital to your intake process. Adding the lead information on the client's profile saves time in filling out paperwork and ensures that the information is stored in a secured, central location and always kept up to date. Creating tasks and adding notes allows you to stay on top of your intake process. It will also allow coordinators to easily delegate to teams. The next step after creating the lead profile is creating an ad hoc service for a lead and creating a quote. If you have any questions around this topic, you can check out our website at carevision.com and chat with our friendly web support team.